Hello and welcome to episode 53 of my Salem tutorial series. This episode is going to be on us getting some beeswax and then making a butchering knife so we can butcher much quicker than using our hands. Now you'll see here that I've just killed a beaver, and normally I like to show making an item and then demonstrating the usefulness of that item, but in the case of the butchering knife I'm having to do it in reverse, simply because I'm not quite sure how long this corpse will last before it rots away, and you all know about how much I like to waffle. This corpse will probably long disappear before my waffling finishes. One other thing that you will notice is that I had to go to town to buy a banker's purse because I'd reached the limit of the merchant's purse, which was 7,500 it can hold. Well, the banker's purse can hold, as you can see, 20,000 silver, so that should do me for a very long time. So just to give you a heads up on that, I've upgraded my purse to a banker's purse. It costs 2,500 silver if I remember correctly. I did actually do a video showing that, but the video, because I figured out that I weren't able to demonstrate using the knife, I've deleted that video and decided to do it again this episode, but in reverse. So if we open up my journeyman tool belt, this is what we will be making: a butcher's knife. Now the ether from the blade carries over to the knife, but we're not going to worry about that for now. I just wanted the butcher's blade and I want to butcher this corpse before it disappears. So once we've made the butcher's knife, you'll notice that we need to attach it to put it in our tool belt so we can use it. Now you all know how long it takes to skin and butcher an animal without the butcher knife, because that's what you're used to. So let's now give you a demonstration of how nice and quick it is to butcher using a butcher's knife, and then we will get to how to make one. So okay, as you know, right click the corpse and first of all choose skin. Never do butchering as you'll lose the option to skin. So we will skin. You see, that was tremendously much quicker than normally it takes to skin. Now for butchering. Again, it's going at a much quicker rate, as you can see here. Normally it goes about half the speed of this, or maybe even less than that. And there we are, all butchered. Let's grab the bones. Right, okay, so as you can see, the butcher's knife is a tool well worth making. Now the reason I've decided to do some tool episodes is because we've been spending lots of time learning skills, getting our proficiencies up, making the farmer's house, making the forge, and then making the items, the trip hammer, and also the finery forge for making wrought iron. But I thought, well, with opening up all of these different skills and making all these different buildings, let's actually start to show the usefulness of doing all of this, for all our effort. So that led me to realizing that we need to start upgrading all the tools we're using, and I decided to start with the butcher's knife first of all. So there we go, that's the usefulness of the knife. Now what I just want to quickly do is drop the two bones off into an urn over here, which is next to my grindstone, because the bones do weigh quite a bit. Okay, what's the first step on the road to making your butcher's knife? Well, it's over to our beeswax. That is the first place, because the first material we will need is beeswax. So that's the first thing I'm going to show you how to do: get beeswax. Now as you can see, there's a beeswax there. And I've learnt one valuable lesson: don't place your beeswax where you're putting your fields, as they fast become obscured. So what I'm doing now in my revision is now building my skeps along the border of my claim, which is at the top here. Okay, now in order for us to get beeswax, what you will first need is a working beeswax. And what I mean by that is optimally you'll have it full of honey. I expect you'll still get a load of beeswax even if it's only half full, but you know what, just let it fill up the honey bar. As soon as the honey bar is full, then place all of the bees into your pocket, your inventory, like so. Okay, once you've taken all of the bees out and it's a full honey in the bar there, then the next thing to do is to destroy the bee skep. As crazy as that might sound, that is how we're going to get to the beeswax. So we go to Adventure, Destroy, and then click the bee skep. And as you can see, I'm now destroying my bee skep. It's okay though, because after having a chance to see all the different resources that a bee skep gets us, as in the different items the bees produce, and also the fact that we can get beeswax, I now know they're well worthwhile building. So I'm going to build about 5 of them. Anyway, now that it's destroyed, what we now have to do is clear the cursor by right clicking, then right click on the destroyed bee skep and left click extract honey. Now if you've got a bucket in your inventory, it will put honey in the bucket as well, which you can then use to give you the buff Busy Bee, which for now I'm not really interested in that. I wanted to show you the butchering knife. And what a funny sound that is, noise it's making. Can you hear that? It was like slurping the honey out. Anyway, so we've got now a load of honeycombs, which is what we needed. And as you can see, if you let your beehive get full with honey, you will get a load of honeycombs. Now though, it's not honeycombs what we need. What we need is beeswax. So in order to get beeswax, you right click on your honeycomb and then left click drain. And it might be that you use the bucket at this. In fact, let's get a bucket just so we can test this, because I'm not sure whether it uses the bucket to get the honey when destroying the skep, which I should have had a bucket then, or draining, so we'll try. And preferably it will be a bucket that is empty, which I know I've got one over here. As you can see, my gardening's coming along nicely. I'm getting a whole range now of foods that I can use to build up my humours, which I've put on pause, on hold for the moment, because I realise, well, I want to do other things, but I'm just building up my food cupboard, if you like. So I'm growing mushrooms, I'm growing vegetables, all the different types, and so I'm going to be able to get a lot of food recipes out of all of these different foods. Anyway, let's go grab this bucket. Okay, so there's an empty bucket. Let's grab that. Now if we right click on the honeycomb and drain, you'll see not only do we get a bucket full of honey, but we also get the prized item which we was after, which of course is the beeswax. So that, my dear pilgrims, is how you get beeswax. Right, okay, so now we have beeswax. What do we do with that? Well, the next step is we need to make a hilt. So if we go to craft and then we go to tools, you'll notice in the tools there is knife hilt. When you click on that, you will see you need 1 wooden block and any dried hide. So you can see you can use a snake, rabbit or beaver. Once it's dried out, you can then use that with a wooden block. That gets you your butcher knife hilt. Once you've got excuse me, sorry. Once you've got the butcher knife hilt, then you go back to craft and back to tools, and this time you click on knife blade. You'll notice you will need 1 bar of pig iron. You will also need to be using your anvil. So once you right click on your anvil and you've got a 1 bar of pig iron in your inventory, then you can craft the knife blades. I say blades because, as you can see, you're going to get 2 knife blades. So once you've got your knife hilt, your knife blade, you then go to craft, then back into tools, and in here now you're looking for the butcher knife. When you click on that, you can see that you need the knife blade, the butcher's knife hilt, and a beeswax. So with all 3 of them in your possession, right click your anvil and then click craft. Once you do that, yep, I haven't got the ingredients because I've already made one. Once you do that, equip it in your tool slot. It's currently in my hand because I've just used it. So once you've equipped it and you butcher an animal, then it will equip it for you. Now notice our tool belt is full, so what I decided on was putting my fishing rod in one of the large urns, which will be a game that I play in the future called Find My Fishing Rod, because it's in one of these urns over here. I think one opposite the finery forge. So anyway, as we're getting more tools, I've yet to look into whether we can make a bigger tool belt. I'm hoping we can, in which case we can start to make more tools and equip them in the tool belt. Otherwise it means swapping out and maybe keeping items like the frying pan in an urn by the stove, and keeping tools like that in that nature, storing them that way. So okay, we've destroyed the bee skep though, so time for you to start thinking about building more bee skeps, because with the bees, okay, just to show you something, with the bees you can store them in an urn. The queen bees will never die, but the drone bees will die. That's just an observation of mine. That's nothing I've read on the wiki, it's just what I've observed. I've put in here these queen bees, and this first one has been here now for a couple of months, or a few months at least. It's not gone anywhere, and anyway, people sell the queen bees in the market, so you know they can't be dying. The drones though, however, I have noticed after filling up one urn that half of them weren't there a few days later. So be aware of that when you get your drones and at least one queen bee, then you need to quite quickly build yourself another skep and put the bees into that new skep. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to build myself another skep and put in my bees that I've just removed from that one. Now remember, to make a bee skep it's 20 clay and 8 hay. Now the choice for your hay is either getting your hay from a haystack, or if you're planting wheat, then you can get it as a byproduct from harvesting your wheat crops. So the choice is yours. But anyway, there we are. That is how you make a fantastic butcher's knife and how you get beeswax. Now I'm sure there's something else I wanted to... Anyway, let's just quickly show you this buff that you get from honey. So if we right click, oh no, we don't want to empty it, we want to drink it. We need a cup, a bark cup, in order to drink the honey. So maybe I'll show you that another time. But for now, I believe it's mission objective achieved. Not only do you know how to make the beeswax, not only do you now know how to make the butcher's knife, but also you see the practicalities of how much quicker it is to butcher an animal with the butcher's knife. Wherever you are in the world, God bless you and keep every last one of you safe. Thank you for watching and have a fantastic day. I hope you've enjoyed this episode on the butcher's knife. Goodbye.